Hey guys, welcome to Katie's Classroom. I hope that you've been enjoying our algebra unit so far. Algebra is actually my favorite, so I hope that it's your favorite too. And today I'm going to be teaching you about algebraic expressions, what they are, why we might use them, and how to write your own. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you learned something. So here you go. First, let's answer the question, what exactly is an algebraic expression? We know that a numerical expression would just be 2 plus 3, or 2 plus 3 minus 5, 2 plus 3 times 4 divided by 2. Okay, all of these are numerical expressions. An algebraic expression involves a variable. If you recall, a variable, okay, this is normally a letter or a symbol that represents a number. Okay, so any of these. The most common variable you're going to see is x. So before we move on, we need to cover this. 3 times 2, we've normally seen like this. 3 times 2 with an x in the middle. Okay, no more x's to represent multiplication. Just need to do 3 times 2 with parentheses, or you might see 3 times 2 with a dot. This one with the parentheses is the most common. Okay, so no more x's, because this could be quite confusing, because now you might be seeing 3x. Okay, well, 3 times 2, is that 3x? Is that 3 times 2? That could be a little confusing. Okay, so back to what is an algebraic expression? Well, we already know it involves a variable. To have an algebraic expression, you also need some numbers. Okay, and you need an operation sign. So what I mean by an operation sign is, am I adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, or maybe there's more than one operation sign. You need at least one of all of these. Okay, so this would be an algebraic expression. 2 plus x. 2 times x. 2 divided by x. Okay, all of these are an algebraic expression. We have a number, we have a variable, we have an operation sign. Number, variable. Okay, this operation sign would be multiplying. Okay, 2 times x. When the 2 and the variable, or the number and the variable are right next to each other, that means to multiply. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. This is how you're going to see this. 2 times x. Not this. 2 times x. Okay, not like this. 2 times x. Now this isn't necessarily wrong, but you don't see it like this. And not like this. x2. Okay, this looks too much like times 2. So I always want to see it with the number first, then the variable. Yay, that will make me happy. Okay? So, moving on, here might be another example. You could have 2x plus 5m. That's a variable, or that has variables, numbers, an operation sign. That's an algebraic expression. We could go crazy. 3y squared times 5mn. Okay, numbers, variables, the operation would be to multiply. We get even crazier and add something else to it. Okay, looks like 3 and 5 are my favorite numbers right now. So all of these are algebraic expressions. So my question is, why algebraic expressions? What do we need to use these for? So here would be a quick example. Let's say that you guys come to my class, and I'm going to give everyone 3 pieces of candy. Okay, plus your mom is going to give you candy. Your mom's going to bring candy, but Cole's mom might bring him a different amount of candy than Brent's mom. Or Jackie's mom might bring her no candy. Okay? So, no matter what, everyone gets 3 pieces of candy, plus they get whatever candy their mom brings them. Okay, so this algebraic expression represents how much candy you get. Let's say Sally's mom brings her 5 pieces. Let's say Joe's mom brings him 10 pieces. Let's say that Julie's mom brings her 100 pieces. She's just feeling like Julie's been doing really awesome lately. Okay, so then Sally has 3 plus 5, Joe has 3 plus 10, and Julie has 3 plus 100 pieces of candy. They each have a different total amount of candy. Okay, so I used this algebraic expression to figure out their total amounts of candy. We had to have the C because it was going to change. Variables are a variable because they change. It's not always going to be the same number, but they do represent a number. That's important to remember. Later on, we are going to be doing different types of math with these variables. So, right now, I'm going to give you an example of how to write your own algebraic expressions. So here, Mrs. Graham has read 4 times the amount of books that Mr. Henry has. So remember, you need a variable, you need an operation sign, and you need a number. Okay, so I'm going to reread the problem and try to pick those things out. So Mrs. Graham has read 4 times the amount of books that Mr. Henry has. Well, the number's pretty obvious. Okay, 4 times, that's going to tell me that I'm going to multiply. Okay, and Mrs. Graham has read 4 times the amount of books that Mr. Henry has. So what we don't know is how many books have been read. Okay, so that's going to be my variable. Okay, so we have 4 times the amount of books. You can just write that as 4 times B. Okay, so suppose they told us that Mr. Henry read 100 books. Okay, then to figure out how much Mrs. Graham has read, we would do 4 times 100. Mrs. Graham has read 400 books. The next example, Aunt Sally has 13 dogs and 3 times as many cats as her sister. Order of operations, Aunt Sally is a crazy cat lady. So Aunt Sally has 13 dogs, there's one number, and 3 times as many cats as her sister. Okay, so let's pick out the operations. Well, it's look like I'm going to multiply. And if I have 13 dogs and 3 times as much, I'm also going to be adding. Okay, so I'm going to be adding and multiplying by how much her sister has. Okay, so I'm going to use S. So she's got 3 times as much as her sister plus 13. Okay, this would tell me how many animals she had. Okay? Let's try this one. 5 less than 7 times the number. So I have 5, I have 7. I have less than and times, and I'm just comparing it to any random number. Let's call it n. Okay? So automatically, students want to do this. Oh, it's 5 minus 7n. This is incorrect. Okay? You have 5 less than 7. If you have less than 7, you have to start with 7, then subtract the 5. Yay! Okay. It costs $5 for the pizza plus $2 for each topping. We have our numbers. We have $5 for the pizza plus, so that one's hard, not. So we're going to be adding $2 for each topping. Each is a key word here. Okay? $2 for each topping. This is important. I'm going to take 2 times the amount of toppings to get that cost. All right, so I have to pay $5 no matter what, plus I have to pay $2 for each topping. So let's say I'm going crazy. I'm going to get Let's see. I like pepperoni, I like pineapple, and I like green peppers. That's 3 toppings. So t equals 3. 5 plus 2 times 3. 5 plus 6. My pizza is $11. That's actually a really cheap pizza. I hope you learned something today. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up so that I know that people are actually learning. And thanks again for watching my videos. See you next time in Katie's Classroom.